Come on in the room. Bucks lose it tonight, 127-117 on the road, Mile High in Denver. No Giannis, no Dame, none of that. But the Bucks, hey, it was a good showing tonight. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at your Milwaukee Bucks tonight, 127-117. They don't get it done in Denver. Jam-packed show tonight. We were not on, what was that, the other night against, who did lose the other night?
Suns.
Phoenix. So that was the Phoenix game. The Phoenix game, Bucks lost in Phoenix the other night. Weren't able to jump on after that one. But a 127-117 loss tonight to the Denver Nuggets. Again, if you my bad. Come on in the room. See what happens when we miss a game? Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. That's how he gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. Cream City Crossover, Guru Trails Dirt.
Chris King.
Justin.
Yeah. We are in the building. Just a little bit. No JT tonight. Little last one. Bucks after dark, right? Road trip is over. We wanted to go 3-2. What did it? 2-3. Start off promising. We're not able to close it out. Rough one the other night in Phoenix. We may talk a second about that. I don't know. But let's get to it. You can add us on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. We got it in the chat as well. Yes, we will talk about Dame. We're going to talk about this game first. 127-117 losses to a game recap tonight. Kevin Porter Jr., 12.7 boards, 8 assists, 5 of 15. Didn't hit a three. Probably, Ryan Rollins had a better game than him tonight. I think a lot of people were excited about Kevin Porter Jr. in the starting lineup. And again, Kevin Porter Jr. gave you a very Kevin Porter Jr.-esque game where, inconsistent. If he's shooting the ball very well, it's going to look good. But when he's 5 of 15, it's going to look like a 5 of 15 night. But he had some rough decisions as well. He ended up with 4 turnovers a night. So, again, you got to take care of the ball a little bit better. There are miscommunications on defense. I'm not blaming him. I think that was just, again, when you're in a different lineup, you're playing more minutes. Torrey Prince, Kuz, all those guys, there were miscommunications all over the defense tonight. KPJ was a part of it, but he did play around 30 minutes tonight, and it was up and down. It really was up and down from Gary Trent Jr., 16 points, 4 boards. He was 5 of 15. Up and down. Again, with Gary Trent Jr., it's how he shoots. I thought he had some shots. He's some big moment shots throughout the game. He missed some shots throughout the game. It kind of is what it is. Brook Lopez, excellent first half. Decent second half. It's tough to replicate. I believe he had 20 in the first half, something like that. Only finished with 26, 7 boards, 3 assists, 12 of 17, 2 of 5 from 3. Again, he's playing against the MVP or a former MVP on the other side, so he gives up a 39-point triple-double. But I'm not holding that against Brook Lopez. I thought he did his own. I thought he held his own tonight. And again, 26-7, nothing to scoff at. And to me, he did. I mean, for what Brook Lopez is, he did to Joker. Just be honest. Offensively, he dominated Joker. Like if Brook Lopez was 4 or 5 years younger, that would have been he would have absolutely dominated Joker tonight. But I thought, again, Joker just is not interested in playing defense at all. And Brook Lopez took advantage of that. And again, I give Doc Rivers credit too. These last, 3 weeks of the season, whatever it's been, putting Brook Lopez in the post, letting him operate from there a little bit more, not just jacking up threes all night long. Again, he took 17 shots tonight, only 5 threes. So again, I thought it was a really, really good night from him, all things considered. Torrey Prince, 15 points, 5 assists tonight, 1 steal, 6 and 9 from the field, 3 or 4 from 3. Decent night for him. Kyle Kuzma, tail 2 halves, 10.7 boards, 4 assists, 3 of 10 from the field. He was 0 of 1 from 3, 3 turnovers. First half was, it was disgusting offensive basketball, to say the least. Again, the Kyle Kuzma in that first half, it's as bad as you'll see him. Just reckless play, all over the place, not in control. I don't know how many ways you want to explain what Kyle Kuzma was in that first half. And in that second half, it was decent basketball. Like that is basketball I can live with. I thought defensively he was good all night. But you got to be able to find something, and the Bucks have to be able to find something. The things that he does well, you've got to be able to capitalize on it. But again, makes it much harder. No Dame, no Giannis. You are asking him to do a lot of things that he's not. You're asking him to do a lot of things that he really can't do. And tonight, that first half was. It was. I don't sugarcoat anything. It was not a good first half. I will tell you that. Much better second half. But again, not enough. Not enough from Kyle Kuzma. AJ Green, hey, he ain't barely bird tonight. He was Derry Bird tonight. 15, 5, and 5. Found his stroke a little bit. That's what you want to see. 5 and 9 from 3, 5 and 9 from the field. He was a +1 tonight. Derry Bird finding his shot. It's been about a month and some change. He's been slumping. That is a huge development because, again, Giannis wasn't available tonight. Doc Rivers in his pregame presser said he expects this to be a one-game absence for Giannis, so Giannis should be back in a couple days. But AJ Green, even more so now with the uncertainty around Damian Lillard, we were talking about what he's going to be able to do. Are you going to be able to use him? Are you going to be able to play with him? Tonight, did he get himself back on track? Again, you got stacked performances. This was a good showing from AJ Green. How about Pat Connaughton? 6 points, 8 rebounds tonight, 2 assists, 3 of 5 from the field. This is what that now. Again, is he a good player at this stage of career? No, but this is what a veteran like Pat Connaughton does. Now, again, at $10 million, I don't like it how much he's making, but Pat Connaughton, this is what you expect a veteran who hasn't played legit minutes, in I don't know how long. I expect you to come in as a veteran player who's been a veteran on a championship team, who knows the system, who knows what he's doing out there, to come in and be able to fit seamlessly. And that's what Pat Connaughton did. Nothing special tonight, but hey, you calling me in a pinch because you don't want to play Bouye or Chris Livingston or Pete Nance or Tyler Smith or those type of players. You don't want to play those guys. I can still give you minutes that can be effective. And tonight, I thought Pat Connaughton did that well. Ryan Rollins tonight, excellent night for him. 17 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound a night, 7 and 9 from the field, 2 or 3 from 3. Hit big shots. He was a +7 tonight. He deserved all of Kevin Porter Jr.'s minutes. I mean, if we're being honest about it, he closed out the majority of that basketball game. So, I don't have anything to say about Ryan Rollins tonight. Again, young player, a lot of talent. There's a lot there that you see that can develop. And this is a good night for him. 117 points. I'll take it from Milwaukee. On the other side of things, Denver, Michael Porter Jr. just hit a lot of shots tonight, fellas. 23 and 10, 7 and 9 from 3. Not really much you could do about it. 7 9 from the field, 6 of 8 from 3. Not much you can do about it. Like he's a great shooter. A couple of those were wide open, but I thought we contested a decent amount too. They just swung the ball to him. He got good looks, hit him. Aaron Gordon, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist tonight, 3 of 6. And that's what I go back to, when I look at some of the matchups defensively. Kyle Kuzma did a really good job on Aaron Gordon. He wasn't able to do anything tonight. How about Nikola Jokic, 39, 10, and 10? Just too much. 16 for 25 from the field. Again, it's Joker. You really couldn't stop Christian Braun, though. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, good young player. Jamal Murray, you can live with Jamal Murray on 17 points, 6 of 15 from the field tonight. He didn't have a great night. Peyton Watson, 12.7 boards. Russell Westbrook, again, I was like Russell Westbrook and Kyle Kuzma were having a mid-off in that first half. It was just – it was ass on ass. It was almost he was canceling out as bad as Kyle Kuzma was in the first half. Russell Westbrook. I know he don't like that. He was canceling out how bad Kyle Kuzma was with some of his poor play. DeAndre Jordan, one of those goddamn, he's still in the league, running around doing whatever the hell he did tonight for 3 minutes. All of it adds up to a 127-117 victory for the Denver Nuggets. And I'll say this, I'll be brief about it because I think, again, we're going to have more to talk about with the Damian Lillard and where this team is instead of just talking about this game. But I'll just say this, for what it's worth, I was impressed, like thoroughly impressed with what the Bucks did and how they played tonight. What it showed me was, especially now, again, we'll get to it, especially if it's Detroit or Indiana, I think the Bucks still win a first-round series with Giannis. I really do. Like that group showed me that they have enough to do it. And again, It may look odd. It may look weird. Doc's going to have to be wonky about it. But it showed me that they have enough. When you go up in Denver and go toe to toe with the former champions, MVPs, those guys have been resting. What like they've been playing recently because Joker been resting. So Joker came back. I believe he came back specifically for this game. It's like, oh, Giannis is out. Bet we can go get a win tonight. I think that's what they saw and what they did. And so for the Bucks to come out and basically that was they had that game tied at one point. It was a 3-point game late in the fourth quarter. Again, Joker and the Denver Nuggets get championship pedigree. Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, Nikola Jokic, they should pull that out. They did, but the Bucks did a really good job to keep that game as close as they did without Dame, without Giannis. So again, I appreciate the effort tonight. I thought they played hard, and that's all you can ask for in a game without your two superstars, without Giannis, without Dame. Go out there and don't look like, I guess this is being unfair to what the Lakers did because Lakers had a real G League lineup when they played us, but don't do that. Go out there and play with some effort, play with some pride. I thought the Bucks did that tonight in a 10-point loss. That's what I saw. Chris, what'd you see?
I also think it kind of reinforces the fact that you're correct, Trey. I think we're a bad matchup for Denver if Giannis is in that lineup. Like, I really do. I think they struggle guarding us. And you saw it with Brook Lopez, what he was able to do to Jokic. Yeah, granted, everybody does seem to do well when Jokic is forced to play defense. But I think, we're going back to the things that we have always been advocating for, which is let Brook go inside out. Let the game come to him. Let him work from inside out. And it worked tonight. I just don't think we had enough at the end of the day. Like, we didn't make the shots necessary to actually compete in this game when it came down to it. Taurean Prince missed a couple. Brook thought he could have swung it in that corner open to GTJ late. Kevin Porter Jr. was bad tonight. He had some bad moments in that fourth quarter. Yes, I get Ryan Rollins had some foul trouble and stuff like that, so he had to come out. But all in all, I was excited that they were actually able to make it a game. I was excited that Ryan Rollins and KPJ got the opportunity to grow up a little bit in this Milwaukee Bucks lineup. Ryan Rollins played a lot better than KPJ did. I saw him, late game knocking down that three to cut it to, 3 points at that point. Like, those are the big shots that he's going to have to hit throughout his career if he wants to be a starting caliber point guard or just a normal piece in this NBA. And I thought Ryan Rollins showed what he can do a little bit tonight. Yeah, I mean, it was good to see Derry Bird get back to what he does. Kyle Kuzma was ass tonight. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He was bad. But at the end of the day, I'm walking away feeling a little happy about how this Bucks team just didn't roll over against a pretty good, full strength Nuggets team. And you just kind of move on. I apologize for the Suns game. Would have loved to talk about that one, but Wi-Fi went down, so we moved. But outside of that, man, tough loss against against the Suns as well. But we move forward, and we'll obviously get into some of the long-term things this season with the Dame thing.
I want to
you want to go? You want to go? Because I was going to pop off. Go ahead.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, Chris. Before you do it, though, Chris, hold on. Let me just. I do want to check one thing. Let me see something. Hold on. I'm gonna check this. Let's check it because I asked people. Okay. See, the Wizards played tonight. 119-114. Good win for the Wizards. Nah, he ain't play. Okay. All right. So the refs didn't tech up. They didn't tech up Doc when he was going crazy over that foul that should happen. But I'm gonna tech up Darius Fuller, and I'm gonna give him a double tech, please. Hey, can I get the bouncer? Throw him out the club, please. Darius Fuller get him out of here. And Sammy, you on deck. That's one tech for Sammy. And so I got a technical foul. I got a technical foul on Darius Fuller. He's ejected. And then we got Sammy, one tech, not ejected yet. One tech for him. He's got one left. All right, now I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I was over here. Jesus Christ. Like, all right, let's just go to what Doc said.
Double tech Sammy out of here. Go out. Please, kick him out. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Double tech.
I really don't understand it, though. Like, you see a great effort from a bunch of guys playing against the number 3 team in the West, and the first thing y'all do is run to the chat and talk about how we not going to talk about Kuzma. He just said in the monologue, Kuzma had a terrible first half, but he played tremendously better in the second half. Like, are you not listening, or are you just here to talk ish, which is cool?
They don't start from the beginning. They hop in whenever and then just want to talk. I don't know, man.
Where were they at when Kuz had a good game the game before or the game before that? Because the last game Chris Middleton played in, he had 9 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. Kuzma played horrible tonight and had 10. It was a minus 19, by the way. But we just going to sit here and twerk for Kuzma and have a parade for Kuzma. Like, I get so tired of the Kuzma stuff, man. Every single game. You know what's every single game that's consistent with him? He's here, he's playing, and he's hooping. He's hooping. And I don't know what else you want. Anyways, Doc Rivers, man, this stuff, man, I'm mad. I'm mad. Like, some of y'all Bucks fans, I really wish y'all just jump on that Washington Wizards thing.
Yeah, y'all not even Bucks fans anymore. They just want to be right about a narrative. I'm okay with what Kuzma's been doing. Like, am I going to be crucified for that? Like, did we forget about? I know we didn't have a show, but the 4-point play was huge last game, right? Even though he didn't have a great game offensively. You know, you can go as far as, 4 games ago and then go down the line, and he's had good games. So I can't. I'm rooting on the Bucks, not Chris Middleton's Wizards.
Be careful, Chris. You might lose some credibility because you say anything positive about the Bucks. The other thing, man, is you see these jokers on Twitter, and they're, oh, God, the Bucks are getting what they deserve. They traded A.J. Johnson, so that's why Dame Lillard has blood clots in his leg. Like, Doc, if you want to be – look, I'm not going to tell you how to root for the Bucks, but if you sit here – hoping that a team loses because you're twerking for a dude that barely got good run for the the Wisconsin Herd, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, I hope the kid A.J. Johnson plays great basketball. I'm so off my rocker. I don't even know what Doc said. I know he ain't say no. Man, let me not. Because I know my little niece might be watching. I might say something real off the wall tonight. Anyways, Doc said it's really frustrating when you play this hard and you have an official blow a call like that on AJ Green. He said that absolutely lost the game. It's a game-changing call because we could have taken that thing to a 2 or 3 point game, and then all of a sudden it's a 9-point game. And when missing a guy like Giannis, missing a guy like Dame, you can't overcome mistakes like that. This isn't Doc saying this, but I can agree with some of the Kuzma mistakes earlier, some of the KPJ mistakes, some of those turnovers. We just can't have them being down 2 of the guys that are pretty good players. I mean, they're all-stars, right? He said Brook had a great game defensively and offensively. I'd agree with that. Brook made some key timely deflections and blocks. He played Joker the best that you can play him. I mean, the guy is probably one of the better offensive players in his game. He's absolutely horrible on the defensive end. Praise A.J. Green. Plays Gary Trent Jr., praise Ryan Rollins, said everyone on the team played good ball tonight. He said to win this game, we had to make 4 or 5 more threes than the Denver Nuggets. We did not do that. Too many mistakes in the first half, but we played much better basketball in that second half. For me, this is why that Golden State and Phoenix game were so important on this road trip. That's the difference between a winning road trip and a losing road trip. Those are both games that I feel like that Bucks team should have taken care of. Cool stat tonight, 7 players in double figures. Thought we shared the ball well. Guys got good shots. I thought Brook was amazing. I thought those blocks were great. And then I had something silly, but we're not even going to talk about playoff Pat now because these clowns have pissed me off already. He took me into this joint, and I'm just like, stop the Bucks hate, man. And before y'all go, before we get to Dame and all, this ain't doom and gloom for me. If Dame is here or if he's not here. Look, Giannis is the baddest man walking this planet right now. And I'm going to hope that he has a Herculean effort and he carries us to a championship and he goes down as arguably the best Buck ever. Because if he wins a championship with these guys that we had on the floor tonight and Bobby Portis and Sims coming back, hey, love Kareem to death, but he's better than Kareem. With this squad, you're going to need someone else to step up with him and play great basketball. I thought you saw it with Ryan Rollins tonight. I thought you saw it with who am I forgetting? AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr. Like, these guys can hoop. There's a lot of fighting these guys. This season not anywhere over. And, you don't think they're getting out the first round. You don't think they're getting out the second round. I don't know. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to root for them to go all the way to the championship. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to root for them to win free agency and win a draft pick somehow. And if that don't happen, then we're going to come back next year. We're going to sit right here and root for these Bucks and do it again, man. It is negative crap out of here, man.
Yeah, no, a lot of negativity. Again, I think a lot of people are upset, and that's okay. You know, it's some, as long as it's channeled in the correct places, I get being upset. I'm upset too. When I heard news about Dame Lillard, yeah, it is upsetting. Watch out. William Range Super Chat says, man, drop down at 6. That sucks, but I think the Bucks' new model should be against all odds. They showed fight all game. If this team can show fight with Giannis playing, I have faith no matter what. And again, I agree with that piece in particular, that's all I wanted to see tonight was the fight. I mean, again, you're battling guys out. You know, it is what it is. You have to go out there and try to find the win. And I thought the Bucks battled. That's what this was all about. Battling all over the floor. And I thought a lot of guys did a really good job tonight. Like I said, in particular, Brook Lopez. That blown call was crazy. I think that the reason the refs didn't call a tech on Doc Rivers, they knew they blew the call. Like, you know, AJ's run down the court and you just run him over. Like, my God. I mean, I get it. Denver's still fighting. We don't have Dame. We don't have Giannis there. But you got to call this thing both ways, man. Like, there's no reason. There's no reason you're not doing that. I don't like that part. Let's go to the chat. Doug Levin, he says, good game, bad loss. Disagree. I don't understand. How is this a bad? Did we go into this game expecting to win? I'm just saying, did you go into this game expecting the Bucks to go out and beat the hell out of the Denver Nuggets tonight? I did not. Like, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. So I totally disagree. Tish says, hey, fellas, great effort from the Bucks. I love the fight I saw. Eric L says, sick of seeing people twerk for the Joker circus passes. Meanwhile, dude hasn't had a good defensive possession since his rookie season. Passes don't move me. Mickey says Kuz is awful offensively. Let's see. Joe Sonoa says, says all these channels are these like Barrett's homies. The thing about that's that I don't say much about Barrett other than I'll say this. Dude is very odd and very, very weird. Like let me say this. The reason I won't say anything about him is, or much about him, is because I actually believe he's mentally challenged. Like, I can see it in his movements. So like, I feel bad saying anything about people who I think rode those little buses, and so I can't. So that is the main reason why I let him go. But again, he gets a lot of talking points in bringing up me because he doesn't have anything constructive on his own to say. So he has to say things. He has to talk about me to make himself feel better about those grades that he got when he was in school. But in any event, moving forward, I thought the fight was good tonight. That's all I'm really trying to get at. I thought the fight was good. And again, Joker's Joker. They're gonna do what they do. But again, I give Doc Rivers a lot of credit for having the guys ready to play and playing hard. But you know, you can't overcome everything. You're on the road, end of a 5-game road trip. And yeah, you played a better opponent tonight without Giannis, without Dame. So again, it is what it is.
When I think of just the short-term impact of the Dame situation, I do think that I think it was an opportunity tonight to allow guys to prove themselves. I think Gary Trent Jr. continuously by the game is earning more trust from Bucks fans, from Doc Rivers, because when he's out there, I mean, he's liable to hit a very clutch three. If you're behind, he's liable to do that. And he's been doing that lately. So I was glad I got to see that from him. Glad I even got to see the KPJ minutes, the starting minutes. He wasn't good. It doesn't make me think that he's going to be ready for a playoff series without Dame and him be the starter. But it's all good things to see. Just to make sure you kind of have that option. And Ryan Rollins, I see Tish said it in the chat. Like if those two are able to have good games on top of each other, like the same day, same game, and have good, we'll be fine. I'm not going to say, championship caliber team, but I think you can win some games in the playoffs if those guys have it going, and they need the experience, and they got that tonight. And it didn't turn out in a blowout loss. They didn't roll over. They played well. They played hard. So I can't be too mad at the loss tonight. But in terms of, we'll get into the Dame thing long term, what that means.
Calling this a bad loss. And I mean, we all got different opinions and stuff like this. But even Vegas had Denver as a 10.5-point favorite. Bucks were plus 360. And then remember, in that first half, we're down 15 points in the first quarter. So these guys fought all the way back to take a 5-point lead, and it's tremendous. And if you put the baddest man walking the planet that plays this game of basketball right now with that group, I think it's pretty close to we potentially win this basketball game. There's a lot of good things. I thought the coaching staff did a good job. They had them prepared. I thought Denver's coaching staff did a little bit better, though. They found ways to isolate and get Joker on. Brook did pretty well, but they put him on other guys. There were times where Kuz was guarding him. And by the way, Kuz was guarding Joker and forced him into a couple misses, which I think he should get some credit for that. I mean, I don't know sometimes I don't know what we're looking for as Bucks fans, man. If you put that team out there against the Denver Nuggets down 15 points, any basketball fan would say that's a 20, 30-point loss with that team. They're a very good team. They're number 3 in the Western Conference for a reason. They're trending upward. They could get that 2 seed potentially. And we came out there and fought our butts off and came up short without the best player in the NBA in my biased opinion and our other all-star. With a horrible game from Kyle Kuzma, and KPJ had a little bit of crash out a couple times. I thought that's amazing. And these guys are learning to play the game better, and they're going to get better as we get to that playoffs. And I think this is going to be very valuable for Ryan Rollins, KPJ, and AJ Green going towards the playoffs, hopefully.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say tonight on the because again we against this thing we've talked about it so much, the Kuzma Chris trade. I'm not gonna what happens often, again, especially when we listen to people who have half of a brain and are a little bit on that they had to ride the bus that we talked about. When you listen to him again, what people often do is they shift these arguments and they frame them in certain ways, which are just untrue. One of which is what we want in a trade, which again, I've talked about this at length. Nobody ever, you can go through any video you want. Nobody ever asked for Kyle Kuzma. I've never came on here and said, man, we got to go get Kyle Kuzma. What happened was we had to get rid of Chris Middleton. And again, what I believe I said was the league dictated that Chris Middleton's value was Kyle Kuzma. They actually dictated so bad that his value was Kyle Kuzma was that they said, you got to bring in AJ Johnson you got to bring us AJ Johnson as well, because Chris Middleton's value is that low. So again, that goes back to where you have to channel your anger. Your anger isn't at me or John Horst or Giannis, who signed off on the trade, by the way. Your anger really should be against the ankles of Chris Middleton and the rest of the league, who decided that's what his value was. Because again, the Bucks, they wanted Jimmy Butler. And the Miami Heat said, hell no, we don't want Chris Middleton. Too old. They said it. I didn't say it. They said it. The league told you that the man's ankles were cooked and he was too old. They said it. I don't have any. And another thing I just want to address as well is that I hate Chris Middleton, which I keep hearing over and over again. No, I don't. I don't hate Chris Middleton. His ankles hate him. I don't hate him. His ankles hate him. I don't hate Chris Middleton. I respect everything that Chris Middleton did from 2021 to 2025. It's just that 2025 Chris is not. He's not. He's again. It's not even that he's not good. I'm not even saying he's not good. He's not reliable. I can't depend on him to play. If you don't play basketball. What do you want me to do? That's my question. If people keep telling me, what do you want me to do with the guy who doesn't play basketball? So again, the reason he's here is not because people were like, please bring us Kyle Kuzma from the Wizards. The reason he's here is because his ankles did not hold up. You can't do anything about injuries. And again, if you didn't want Kyle Kuzma on the Bucks, what you really should be saying is, damn, we needed to do this a year earlier. That's the discussion you don't want to have. You don't want to have, because your whole thing is loyalty, this, that, and the third. Your real point is we should have done this a year earlier. That's all. Because then you would have gotten somebody better than a Kyle Kuzma. And also, for the record, this trade only works with everybody available. Again, if Damian Lillard goes there, it doesn't matter. You can have you can have whoever the hell you want as your third option. Bucks are losing. You're not going to the finals without if Dame has Buckhouse not playing. It's over anyway. It's over anyway, and you would have got even less value the next year when you tried to trade him. That's how this is going, Mr. That. So you keep going. What's the point in defending him? Because he plays for the Bucks. We had to defend Chris Middleton all the time. We had to defend him when he was scoring 0 points this year. So anyway, and Mr. You're right. It was about the second apron as well. All of that, correct. So you are fine. Yes, you've now graduated from one class to another, and you have to figure out. Yeah, you can't pay a guy $30 million when he can't play basketball. That's not even a hard concept. To me, it's not a hard concept to get behind. So you can hate Kyle Kuzma all you want to, but when the guy you traded for does not play basketball, I don't know what you want to do. We got to play basketball. That's all. You got to be able to play basketball.
Go back and watch the shows when Middleton came back. I came in this joint like Nelly and the Lunatics or crisscross with a backwards Middleton jersey on. But the reason why this is up here is because I said I did not want to trade Chris Middleton. But if we did, because I root for the front of this jersey, we going to put it up there, man. Y'all. Hey, man.
Move on from the Kuzma talk. It's not good enough to talk about. Fool, y'all started talking about him. I ain't coming. The first thing we said in here, the very first thing we said in here was Kuzma was I said he was ass in the first half. I said it. That's what we talked about. And the first thing was Kuzma, Chris Middleton, Kuzma, Chris. So you don't then see that's what happens once you start making points that they can't refute. To Tony World says 2 years earlier as well. Once you start making points that they can't refute, then it goes move on. We don't want to talk about it anymore. Because all you want to do is say Kuzma ass, and not get behind. Well, why did you get Kuzma in the first place? Do you think he was the first option? No. If to use a JT phrase, yeah, it was end of the night. It was end of the night, and what Jamie Foxx said, I'm leaving here with something. It was end of the night at the club, and you had to get something. You were either going home to the five fingers or in the hand. Or you was gonna go get some. You had to go get something. That's what this ended up being about. Y'all again. So again. Anyway, that's what this is about. But I know people again. It takes intellectual brain power to understand that. That's what it takes. Let me say, hold on 1 second. Super chat from NYC Demon says the Bucks season's over and people still on Kuzma. It could have been Chris or Kuz. We are cooked without Dame. My question is, what do we do now? Because truly, guys, the future's not bright. The team is stuck in mid, and I hate it. And so we'll let you guys go, and then we'll get on. So we'll move on from Kuzma, and we'll talk about the value, and we'll talk about what happens next list for this year and Damian Lillard after that. But go ahead.
My bad, Chris. I don't mean to keep jumping. Just my last point about Chris Middleton ever this year, and then every time I talk about Chris Middleton, we'll pick a charity, and I'll do $10 for every time I mention his name on the post show. I'm tired. When you look at Chris's downfall and you look at what caused it, I truthfully believe it was that Bulls series when whatever happened to his lower body, he landed on someone's foot or something like that, which caused him then to parallel miss the Boston series. And you saw that first lower body injury, and then it was a consistent lower body injury after lower body injury. So that's where the downfall happened. And that's where we are, man. Kyle Kuzma's a Buck. I don't want to talk about Chris Middleton anymore until we put his name up in the rafters.
Yeah, I got nothing else. I'm not letting them dictate our show. We got to go.
All right, let's keep rolling. And coming next. So let's talk about the Damian Lillard situation. Moving on from this game here. The news came out, of course, yesterday. Did that come out yesterday or did it come out the day before? What's today? I don't even know. I get my days mixed up. Yesterday, Damian Lillard was diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis, also known as a blood clot in his right calf. Will sideline him indefinitely. The team announced on Tuesday. Yeah, because today's Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday. I just can't keep up. Lillard, 34, is on blood thinning medication, which has stabilized the clot, according to the team. He went through a series of meetings with specialists over the past several days to diagnose the blood clot, sources told ESPN's Shams Charania. He has been on blood thinners for a period of time now, Damian's health is our number one priority, John Horst said in a statement. We will support him as he moves through his weekly process of strict criteria to ensure that it is safe for him to return to play. Doctors have indicated that his situation is very unlikely to occur again. We are thankful that this was identified and medicated quickly, which helps with the recovery. Of course, San Antonio Spurs star Victor Wembanyama was shut down. He was diagnosed with the deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder. Lillard has sat out the Bucks' last 3 games with what was called a calf strain, but Coach Rivers indicated before Monday's game that Lillard was not improving. He was also sidelined for 10 days in December for an injury to the same calves. Obviously, this is a setback as the Bucks now have, I believe they have 10 games left in the regular season. So let's talk about Damian Lillard and where the Bucks are now. First and foremost, again, I'll get the obvious out of the way. Because I think a lot, again, it always goes back to low IQ folks, but the obvious being that we hope Damian Lillard makes a full recovery. Obviously health is more important than basketball, all the above. That goes without saying. I think anybody understands it. 100. Tish is funny. That bus is full up in here, ain't it? Again, for people, people that hate us so much, hate me. I'll say me. I don't want to put y'all hate me so much. They sure love it. They sure love to hear it. They love to hear. They love to hear what I got to say. So I never understand that because again, I don't watch anything that fool be talking about. But anyway, Damian Lillard. Hope for the best. Obviously, want him to improve for himself, for his family, all the above. So I'm not. That goes without saying. And again, any other basketball talk, I don't think we have to keep going that before we start talking basketball because it just goes without saying. But on the basketball court, this is a tough break. The one thing I think that's interesting about this is the fact that they keep saying they're hopeful, that league sources are hopeful that he's going to return. With Victor Wembanyama sidelined out for the rest of the year, you saw this happen again. You saw it with Chris Bosh. Obviously, was an issue. I think a couple other guys. I know Brandon Ingram had blood clot issues as well. So it is interesting that he's been on blood thinners. And everything surrounding the Bucks with injuries is always weird. It's always odd. Like they're never forthcoming with what the problems are, what's happening. So I don't know. Remember they said last year, Giannis, he's close to coming back. Was never close to coming back in the playoffs. So I don't know what this means. There's 10 games left in the season. I don't know if the Bucks are going to have a real opportunity or a real chance to get to play their way back into for Damian Lillard to play his way back into the lineup. I don't know. Again, what we saw, I think I've seen that it usually takes about 3 months. They won't let you play on blood thinners. I don't know. But so I'll talk about him not being on the court first. This changes the trajectory of this basketball team. There's no question about it. And it makes it so that your ceiling now is, and it depends on your opponent, to me, is first or second round. Because I just don't think you beat Boston or Cleveland with just Giannis. I just don't see how that's possible. I do think you can get past Indiana and Detroit. I think the New York Knicks matchup-wise is much tougher. But I don't know how you get past the Boston or Cleveland with just Giannis. Like the team is not good enough. And again, not even on the not really responding to anything in the chat. But I'm just like, and that's even like if you put Chris here the way he was playing in 2025, like without. I don't think Giannis and Chris are enough. Like I think this was always going to be dependent on, and this is another thing we talked about this at length. Giannis and Damian Lillard were going to have to go nuclear for this team to advance and have championship aspirations. Without Damian Lillard, I just don't know that you have championship aspirations. I really don't know that you do. Now, what I will say, last to say, and I'll let you guys chime in. I've seen people saying, well, you should trade Giannis and shut Giannis down. And I saw the thing I saw was crazy was we got to do right by Giannis and trade Giannis. That I have no clue what you mean by that. Like again, Giannis is a competitor. Giannis gonna want to go out and Giannis gonna want to go out and play as hard as he can. Because again, Giannis hasn't played the last 2 postseasons. So yeah, no, Giannis owes the Bucks to go out there because you was playing out there for Greece. Get your ass out there and whatever the season ends up being, go out there and play basketball. So I want to see that first off. But the other larger point is, well, and I said I was going to do 1 point, but I'm going to do 2. The other larger point is, I know I'm going all around because there's so many thoughts. The other larger point is everybody is going to get a pass. Yeah. Which is interesting about this, because I know a lot of chat. I know you guys don't like Kuzma. I know a lot of you guys don't like Doc Rivers either. And again, if you're going to give the pairing of Giannis and Dame if you're going to give Giannis and Dame a pass for the injuries, because again, Damian Lillard's going to get a pass because he's injured. Giannis is going to get a pass because he was injured previously, and now Damian Lillard is injured. If you're going to give those two guys a pass, I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do or anything like that, or I'm not, because I know it's this thing. If you say something, you're defending. I'm not defending anything about Doc Rivers. What I'm saying is you can't give everybody else a pass, and then Doc Rivers, who has not had, because if anybody I defend Adrian Griffin. But you can't but you can't give everybody else a pass for being injured and then say, well, Doc Rivers, who still has also not coached Giannis and Dame in the playoffs, you can, as a group, you can't in the same frame say, well, he doesn't get a pass. Like, so that's the other thing. The other big silver lining about this that you have to recognize is everybody's going to get a reset. And again, whether it's the right thing to do or not, I don't know. But go ahead. I know I was all over the place there.
No, you're right. Yeah, I think it's a tough pill to swallow when I talked about it. I would take those two over a lot of the stars that are going to be playing in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. I would take Dame and Giannis, and that was my main selling point about why I thought this basketball team could actually do something in the playoffs. And now it's gone. Now it's half. Now it's 50%. And that is a tough realization, especially for it to be blood clots. Like, it wasn't even a Giannis thing where it was a freak injury inbounding the ball last year and all of a sudden he's out and he doesn't play in the play. No, this is real life right here. Like, this isn't a basketball injury. This is his body, and it's tough. It's tough to move on without a guy like Damian Lillard, especially when you saw what he did last year in the playoffs. I do have concerns about how many passes these guys, the head coach gets, and maybe even the GM. I know he made the trade. To get Dame, and it makes me wonder if he gets a pass as well when we haven't been too fond of his work. So it's something where, Trey, I agree. I don't think that this team has much of a ceiling without Damian Lillard. Because, again, I talk about the top heaviness of this basketball team. Yes, I love the additions that they have made. I think that some of the additions actually help the ceiling of this basketball team at the deadline. But, again, I still was heavily relying on Dame and Giannis being healthy. And for this to also happen, 10 games out from the playoffs starting is it's tough. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated as a Bucks fan. I know a lot of Bucks fans are probably frustrated with this as well. You just wish that this could end differently than it looks to be ending. So I don't know. I'm distraught at the news, really, because I thought Dame and Giannis in the playoffs could be unstoppable, could be a force. Looks like we may never be able to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, emotions are always all over the place when you see a guy get hurt in this manner. It's something like Chris just mentioned, where it's not like where something happened on the court and you can look and you can see a tendon torn or an Achilles torn or something like that. That makes sense. Blood clots are very serious. I think we all know that. That's a life and death type thing, and that's why the NBA won't let you play with the blood thinners and stuff like that. I'm delusional. I'm too optimistic. I don't get in it on the doom and gloom. So this is what I saw. I saw Kevin Porter Jr. give Drew Holiday in his prime a 50-burger for the Houston Rockets. I saw Giannis go down with a horrific injury, and I thought everything was over, and I drove 6 hours to Atlanta and 6 hours back in the same day because I was so upset. Why us? So I'm just going to cheer for the guys we got. And I'm going to hope that Kevin Porter Jr. can step his level of game up. I'm going to hope that Ryan Rollins will play much better. I'm going to hope that Gary Trent Jr. will play much better. And I'm going to hope that those guys will collapse and double on Giannis and we'll find a way to get buckets. I'm going to hope that we use Brooklyn Brook and he backs guys down and he scores. And he scores a basketball. I'm going to hope that Bobby Portis Jr. comes out with his shot on fire and he makes buckets. I'm going to hope Sims blocks every shot possible, grabs every rebound, and plays great defense. Like, it's so many times where those teams that you didn't think to win. I mean, hell, we've seen a Florida Gulf Coast, a Virginia Commonwealth in the Final Four. We saw, and I'm not saying Giannis is LeBron James, but a lot of people can't name them other dudes that were on that team with LeBron when he took them to the finals. So it's a reason for a masterpiece to happen. And why not us for once? It's always someone else's team. We're always on the sidelines watching it. We're watching, I don't know, this dude gets hurt, that dude gets hurt. They still find a will themselves to a championship. I mean, we've seen it in baseball. Yelich has found every way to get hurt, and it's always at the wrong time of the year. Hey, man, I wouldn't bet my mortgage, as JT says. I wouldn't bet the 401k that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win the NBA championship. But as a fan, I'm going to root my behind off as much as I possibly can. And look, as far as trading Dame in the offseason, I know a lot of people want to do that. I don't know what the market's going to be for someone that is now 35 next year.
Yeah.
With blood clots and coming off of an indefinite injury that he has. I don't know what his market's going to be. Oh, by the way, he's making $53 million.
Yep.
If all the people that are talking about, oh, Dame this, Dame that, I don't remember all y'all folks on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on any social media platform saying how bad this trade was when it happened from day one. So don't come now when the brother gave everything he could and gets a terrible thing that happened to his body. Like, he has kids, he has a family. Like, that's what the focus needs to be, man. Help this dude gets better. And if he comes back, I hope he plays well.
Here's another thing I'll say too, and I really do appreciate that angle because I'm with you, and I'm sure Trey is with you. I'm sure JT's with you. We want this team as is. If there is no Dame in the playoffs, we will root like hell on this basketball team because I still think you have something to be excited about as showcased in tonight's work against the Denver Nuggets with no Giannis. And you know, to me, it's hard for me to not be honest about where I think the ceiling is right now. That doesn't mean that they can't go out there and blow past my expectations or my prediction, right? We're just sitting here talking ball. So I would love for that to happen. And then also, I see Mr. That One Guy agreeing about Adrian Griffin. See, if you just stay long enough, you may agree with some of the points we make.
You'll find something.
Yeah.
Because I ain't talking on my ass here. We just disagree on. It's not even disagreement on Kuzma, but it's really more of an understanding type of an issue, a framing issue. But I agree with you that like. Again, and somebody said, Mickey says, I appreciate the positive outlook, but this team will be lucky to win a series even with Dame. That I totally disagree with that. But no, like this team, there is talent here. Now you have to find a way to maximize it. You have to find a way to maximize it, but the talent is there. Like you mentioned, KPJ is talented. Ryan Rollins is talented. Yeah. Like, but
it's just such short notice.
And it's going to be a game by game. Jericho Sims is going to come back. It's going to be talented. Brooke Lopez in a particular series can score. If it's Detroit, Brooke Lopez can play against Detroit. Brooke Lopez can play against them. Andre Jackson Jr. has talent. Again, I don't know if you try to break him like to me, to win a playoff series, it should be an all hands on deck type of an experience where if you need Ajax to go guard Cade Cunningham for 5 minutes, go do it, and we'll find the offense later. And it will. I'm just saying, if that's what it is, it will be tough to do. But I think the Bucks can absolutely get through a first round series, and then who knows? Didn't Jalen Brunson just again? And that's why I just totally dismissed this season over. Get rid of Giannis and Giannis shut it down. Didn't I just see Jalen Brunson twist his ankle the other night? Didn't we just find out that Damian Lillard had blood clots? I'm just saying, wasn't LeBron just out for a minute? Wasn't Joker just out for a minute? Like, doesn't Joel Embiid miss every? Listen, things happen. You never know what will happen. So yes, Chris Milton ran up under somebody. Was that 2022 when he got how did he get injured in 2022? I can't even remember.
That was the Bulls.
Yeah, he landed on somebody's leg.
Chris Milton landed on somebody in 2022. Yeah. That kills that season. The play the other night in Phoenix where everybody's trying to say Giannis was dirty and he dove on a loose ball to get Devin Booker. That could, again, I don't think it was a dirty play, but anything can happen. That could have been. It was really Devin Booker's fault because his ass should have been on the ground. Go for the ball. Your legs nothing wrong with your legs getting tangled up underneath anything. If you're diving for a loose ball, you ain't no MVP, Devin Booker. Get your ass on the ground for the ball. You out here looking like Cam Newton in the Super Bowl. You try to be all cool, pick the ball up, get on the ground. But I'm just saying anything can happen with injuries. Imagine you get to the first round and boom, and Brunson's ankle is still messed up. The Knicks are not playing well right now without him. They're not playing well. You can beat them. Imagine you get to the second round and it's Cleveland and Donovan Mitchell. Anything. So I'm just saying, you play as long as you can and you see what happens. You wait and see. Hold on. Then 2021, don't the Knicks to this day? Don't the Brooklyn Nets to this day? Where's the Nets dude? He ain't in the chat thing. Don't the Nets dude, the guys to this day, sit around and tell you the reason they lost the title is because they got hurt? It's because KD, because Kyrie got hurt, and because James Harden, they sit there, they talk to that blue in the face that they should have won a title, and injuries derailed them. So I'm just saying, be cautious. Go out there, try to win every game, and then see what happens after the fact. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the Boston Celtics won a championship last year with almost every big player in the East hurt.
Right.
And I don't think we need injury luck to win. I think we need guys on the wings to make shots and to keep it open for Giannis, and Giannis just go do his thing, and Bobby to come back and play amazing basketball and show everybody why he should have got that extension. I tell you what, we saw the Atlanta Hawks when the Bucks won the championship go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and majority of that team isn't even there anymore. They're not even decent basketball players. Like, where's John Collins? Anything is possible.
I saw some. Speaking of John, I saw some people comparing his stats to Kuzma today. I said, he not bad. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, to me, if there's not many good things that come out of this, right? But if you're talking about how the future is cooked, if you're talking about how this team has no direction, I would just slightly push back because I think John Horst, and I don't love him. I don't love John Horst. I don't love some of the drafting things he's done. But I do think that he's set us up for some kind of something to be excited about if Dame is done. If Dame is not a Milwaukee Buck anymore, if Dame, all of a sudden this becomes a career-ending thing. Look, I think you saw firsthand tonight, you saw those guys get some opportunities. You saw Ryan Rollins hit big shots in big moments against a good team. You saw, KPJ didn't play well, but he's had his moments this year. And
he will have moments in the playoffs. He will.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's like almost, and this is a second kind of sidebar kind of topic, but if he was just to make his first shot, sometimes I feel like he plays better. It's just how his game is. But yeah, I just think that if you're not going to trade Giannis, if he does want to stick it out in Milwaukee, and I don't think you will trade him, you're not going to have a terrible team. I get it. No, maybe draft picks, no future there, but outside of that, you're never. You have Giannis on the court. You have some of these decent pieces that are just young, maybe inexperienced with this basketball team that just got added at the deadline. You're not going to be dark. You're not going to be a dark franchise after this.
And if Giannis did ask out again, that's a totally different story. But again, maybe we talk about this another day. But I'm of the mindset the Bucks did everything Giannis asked for them to do. They did everything Giannis asked for them to do.
Yeah.
You guys are complaining about Doc Rivers today. The Bucks have Doc Rivers because not that Giannis asked for Doc Rivers, but that they were all a direct reflection of the things that Giannis asked for. He, and again, not just him in particular, because I know people they're sticklers for words, and they should be. Giannis didn't by himself ask for Bud to be removed, but he wasn't asking him to stay. Just like a lot of people in that organization were tired of Mike Budenholzer. He then wanted Adrian Griffin and did not want Kenny Atkinson or Nick Nurse, for that matter. Matter of fact, I think, and again, I won't get into that, but he was an advocate for Adrian Griffin. They got rid of Bud. They brought in Adrian Griffin, and then midway through the season, he soured on Adrian Griffin, and that's when they say, "Oh, we can now get rid of Adrian Griffin." And then it was Jimmy Haslem who went in and wanted Doc Rivers. But the point is, all those decisions led to Doc Rivers. He would, again, not him on his own, not solely, but he was a part of that. How did Drew Holiday get out from Milwaukee? He was running around the offseason. I want Damian Lillard. I want to play with Damian Lillard. Let me play with Damian Lillard. I love Damian Lillard. John Horst went and got you Damian Lillard. So Drew Holiday's gone because Giannis wanted him too. Go back to another guy, Chris Milton. Talk about trading him a year early. Can't do that because Giannis didn't want to part with Chris Milton. He didn't want to part with Chris Milton. He wanted Chris Milton around. They kept him around as long as they could for him. Brook Lopez, I'm not saying that I don't know if Giannis was really advocating for Brook Lopez, but I still think the point remains that he's there because of things Giannis wanted. You talk about young players that you maybe get. You had a roster spot for Thanasis. Again, whether it worked or not, whether you like it or not, the Bucks did everything Giannis asked. And again, this is why it troubles me so much when so many people say, I defend people. I defend Giannis to the death. Giannis is my favorite NBA player right now. There's no question about it. My all-time favorite, best player in franchise history. I just don't understand. The difference. I hold everybody's feet to the fire. That's why this Kuzma thing is so weird to me. I hold everybody's feet to the same fire. And for this, now basketball wise, Giannis can. I don't say he can do no wrong. He can almost do no wrong. But if you're doing things, you are responsible for this. So for you to then turn around, if this is what happened, for him to turn around, if he didn't say, "Hey, I want out," okay, you can do that. Yes, might be in Toronto. You might be in Utah, my guy. That's the thing about this loyalty thing. You have to do what's best for your franchise. Same thing that Portland did to Damian Lillard. Oh, you're asking out? You ain't going to Miami. Oh, you want to be in South Beach? No, we sending your ass to Milwaukee. You have to do whatever is best for your franchise. And oh, by the way, people thought that they didn't do what was best for their franchise. And if you look at the standings, as the last time I looked, Portland has a better record than Miami. Thought Joe Cronin was missing out on Jaime Jaquez. Hell out of here. NYC Demon with the super chat says, "We're cooked. This team loses Brook for nothing and probably Trent. We can't draft, and this team is stuck in mid. We keep Doc because he gets an excuse. Now I see no silver lining. Dark years ahead." Going back to what you were saying, Chris, but go ahead. You take anything within what NYC Demon is saying there about the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to, we need Danny Levin on this thing. And we'll get to that in the offseason. But for right now, like, again, what Justin says, and, people will get on us for being optimistic even still after the Dame thing, maybe after the Chris trade. But at the end of the day, like, you got what you got at this point. We had the same mentality last year without Giannis, and we maybe thought we could beat the Pacers before we, played that series. So I think it doesn't really change anything from a Bucks fan perspective, but we'll just have to see what the direction actually is once we get more clarification on the blood clot and then what's going to happen moving forward. Because then if he's gone, I'd imagine it may clear up some space. I don't know, so we'll see.
I think Horst is a lot like Johnny Hammond. That name Johnny Hammond, previous GM.
You think he's like John Hammond? Go ahead.
I think he swings for the fences, and I think AJ Johnson was a swing for the fence. I think that what's my dude from Michigan, light skinned guy with braids, DJ Wilson.
Oh, he's ass.
DJ Wilson was a heavy J. That's one thing that I could disagree with Mr. Kidd on. That was a J Kidd influence pick. Dante was a safe pick. But when you look at a lot of his picks, he's swinging, trying to get the next Giannis, like kind of what Hammond did with Thon Maker. You swinging for these guys, and when you roll the dice and you crap, your money gone. And our money's gone right now. We crapped quite a few times. The book is still open on A.J. Johnson, but for what we got right now on his team, I mean, I can't argue with anyone that he was the right pick for this team.
No.
However, what I could say is he does a lot of times turning piss into lemonade with a lot of these free agent signings he has. So maybe, you look at guys and you look at Horst, maybe he needs to bring someone else to help him with draft evaluation and stuff like that. So you can kind of marry the two together. I forget my assistant GM name. Maybe that brother should step up and help with that. But Horst.
Milt.
Go ahead.
On Milt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Horst finds a way to get a free agent in here that we probably shouldn't have had. Because I thought Taurean Prince was going to be the best free agent we could have got. And somehow we get your boy Gary Trent Jr. Then the Marjan trade. Phenomenal trade. The DeLon Wright trade. Phenomenal trade. So, but I think that when you look at everyone in their professional experience, we all have an area or deficiency. And I just feel like Horst may need a little bit of help with some of his deficiencies, in my opinion.
Well, and I'll just say that I know some people saying trade and Dame. I agree. I think it's going to be very tough to trade Dame, even if you wanted to do it, because of the number that he makes. And it wasn't as hard a couple of years ago because you saw John Wall get traded. You seen Russell Westbrook get traded with big contracts. But now with that second apron, that is a big deterrent for guys making $50-some million especially when they are not when they're not as good as they once were, or they have injury designation risk. Was Dame gonna be 35 again? It was just I don't know. Let me ask you guys, how much optimism are you? The Bucks are optimistic that he's gonna come back. Give me on a scale of 1 to 100. Give me your chances that you actually think Damian Lillard comes back. And the funny thing is, they're almost saying like back this seat, like they're not like sometimes you hear guys just say, well, this person's out, but if the Bucks got to the finals, he could play like they were doing with Hutchinson with the Lions. Mm-hmm. He's out, but man, if they get to the Super Bowl, he could potentially play in the next 6 weeks or whatever. Like, they're almost talking like, yeah, he could be back, before the playoffs start. Like, that's how they're talking. Do you give me your 100? Do you think there's an opportunity there? Because even if he's back before, even if it's second round, again, if Giannis is healthy, I do think the Knicks would be a tougher matchup. But Indiana, Detroit, I think you beat both of those teams without Damian Lillard. Given that Giannis is healthy, Bobby Portis and everybody's there, can't have any other injuries. Like Damian has got to be the only one. Everybody else got to be. But what do you think the chances are that that Damian Lillard can make it back at all?
Yeah, I think it's very low. Just the way that this whole thing kind of played out doesn't give me much confidence that he's going to be back in time to even, suit up in the playoffs, because it was calf injury out, calf injury out, and then all of a sudden they dropped a bomb. Just dropped it on us. And to me, I think with just the history of this kind of thing happening and guys, Chris Bosh ending his career, Wemby sitting out the whole season, I just really don't see it if the risk, and knowing Damian Lillard as such a family man, apparently, from the Dame Bros last year, I think he may leave it alone. And it's tough to admit that, but I just don't think he's coming back. So I'd probably give it like maybe a 15, 20 out of 100.
Was Dame at the game tonight on the bench?
I don't think he was. I didn't see him pan to him on the bench tonight. Somebody in chat let us know if Dame was on the bench.
That elevation gets too. I don't know, with the blood.
Yeah, true. But what also funny was he's been flying with the team. That's what I don't understand about this, because they said that he's been on blood thinning for like almost a week or something like that. So they kind of knew about this. But then they said, but he was also flying with the team. So who flies a team when you have blood clots? And then tonight they said he was or I don't know if he was with the team tonight. But then they asked Doc Rivers. Eric Name asked Doc Rivers today, hey, can Damian Lillard fly with the team? He said, oh, well, he's not going to be flying. He's not going to be flying, but he can fly. And so I'm just so confused at like what any of this means.
So that's exactly why I asked that question, man, is because if he's flying with the team, that's a positive sign to me as far as optimism for him coming back. Because I know that I think it was NYC Deem or someone in the chat said they had blood clots and it took them 3 months. I've had family members that had them. Fortunately, I've never had anything like that. But I would tend to think that if you're flying, that's a good sign. But I still kind of low because, the thing is, man, we're not talking about if the Bucks win a championship, if the Bucks beat the New York Knicks, if the Bucks beat Boston. We're talking about someone living. That blood clot breaks. It's extremely serious. But, I hope that he comes back. But I hope that he comes back if he's fully ready to go. And it'd be a crazy, amazing story. Like, one time, why not us? It's always us the other way. So just one time, man. You mentioned that injury stuff, how weird it is. And another guy that does that, Matt LaFleur in Green Bay too, man. You never kind of hear it. It's almost like we're like a hockey team where it's like lower body injury, and then we don't say anything until we have to. Maybe some old school stuff that Doc does or whatever, man. But it's funny, except for if you got a show like we do and we don't know what's going on.
And again, for what they said, I know a lot of people saying he's not going to come back, can't come back. What they said, and all the sources, is because I had a blood clot in the lungs, doing better after a couple of weeks. Okay, but they said they caught it early. They said apparently it's lower in the leg, it's not up higher, it's lower. And what they said was it's very unlikely that this will come back. So again, I think Bosch's was in his lung too, right? So depending on where you get the clot can change the trajectory of your career and whatnot. And Charles is saying Dame has zero chance to come back. Don't be a coach. Again, we're listening to what the Bucks have said. So we're not what the Bucks, but the national reporting was that not team sources. They said league sources said that he may be able to come back. Again, I don't know. I've never had a blood clot. I can't tell you what the prognosis is. I'm not a doctor. But again, it would be a great story. But just trajectory-wise, again, I think that you can win a first-round series against Indiana. You can win the first series against Detroit. It gets tougher against New York, and you have a really tough time beating anybody else. But again, everybody's got to be locked in. Everybody's got to play a role. And again, I thought nights like tonight where AJ Green locks in, shoots 4-7, whatever that is from three. That was a big point. That was a big thing to see. Again, sometimes shooters shoot. You got to see the ball go through the hoop, and you saw that with AJ Green tonight. He says he was flying because he didn't know it was a blood clot, but he was on blood thinners already. That's what this doesn't make sense to me. They say he was on, unless somebody's lying about this. He was already on blood thinners, but he was also flying. And then they said, well, we didn't know it was a blood clot yet. But why would you see? That's what also doesn't make sense. Why are you going to see 5 and 6, 7 doctors? You had to know that this whole thing, the timeline does not make sense to me, because if you thought it was just a calf thing, there's no reason you're seeing 6 doctors unless it's like, hey, we need to. I'm always skeptical. I don't believe a lot of this stuff. So the more and more I think about this story, the more and more I think that they probably knew when he sat that first game out. Was that against the Lakers last Tuesday? Was the Lakers the first game he sat out? What game was he sat out?
Sacramento, I thought.
One of the two.
We played Lakers before Sacramento, didn't we?
Yeah. He sat out versus Lakers, yep.
He sat out the Lakers game. He didn't play the Lakers game, did he?
Nope.
No.
I thought Golden State was the last game he played because that's when they had that closed-door meeting that got leaked because it was a bad loss.
Yeah, so it was Lakers, yep, I think.
Sorry.
So we played Lakers after Golden State. Yeah. So I think it was sometime right around when was that? Last Tuesday?
Yep.
I think yes, and that tracks with he's been on blood thinners for a week. Or was that one this Tuesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. So so the way I think about this was, thank you, Chad, as well as saying Lakers. The way I think it was sometime last week when they figured this out, because they said he was on blood thinners last week. And maybe they didn't. Maybe they suspected blood clots and they weren't all the way sure. I don't know how long it takes to diagnose that. And they put him on blood thinners just to be cautious. Maybe that's what they did, but they say he's been on blood thinners for a week. So I'm assuming that Tuesday game against the Lakers, sometime between Tuesday and Wednesday or between Monday, Tuesday, whatever, That's when he started the blood thinners, and he's been on it for a week. So you got a week down. I don't know. Does it mean something? Does it mean nothing? I don't know. Mister, that one guy in 14 says it was for season ticket renewals. Who knows?
Well, I mean, the only thing I say, and hopefully I'm not speaking out of pocket on behalf of you three brothers, but from the Cream City crossover, we hope you get well soon, Dame, and we hope you come back. But while you're on the men, you pull up with us. We got a spot for you. Tell him, Chris King.
Yeah, people seem to be upset that I was just Dame had so much time on his hands to reply to the guy under Trey's tweet, so why not come on the show? Anyway, to me, like, you think about how this team still can probably perform with just Giannis. You think about all the stuff we've talked about throughout the year about, yes, how this is the highest scoring duo in the league, but we still have had some concerns about the way those two mesh. And I'm not saying the Bucks by any means are better without Damian Lillard. I would never say that. But if guys elevate their game, and there's going to be a lot of changing around lineups, and Doc Rivers really going to have to earn his paycheck this time around with Bobby coming back and Jericho Sims coming back. This could be, I mean, if Gary Trent Jr. elevates his game, I mean, this is still a team to be reckoned with, tough out, what everybody's saying. Yes, that's exactly right. Like, this team is going to be tough to beat regardless, Dame or not. And so that's why I think, you know, Giannis had his career high against the Pacers last year with no Dame in that lineup. Like, they're gonna be a tough damn out, and I'm excited for it. Certainly would love to have Dame, but I am excited to see still 10 games out. I can't wait to see this team in the playoffs. Hopefully we can put ourselves in the best position in these last 10 games to make sure it is a winnable series in that first series.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to. It's gonna be a lot that goes into it. And even a game like tonight, you said again, of course, we're not better without Dame. But even a game like tonight, without Giannis, without Dame, you saw much more ball movement. Ball didn't stick around, and again, I think that's why they were able to keep it close in some regards. With Denver in a tough game like this. Rick Hamilton says need to score 120 regularly. That ain't gonna happen without Damian Lillard in the lineup. I can tell you that. Again, they're gonna have to really lock down defensively. Because you're not going to score 120 regularly without Damian Lillard in the lineup. NYC Demon Super Chat, appreciate it. Says 5 in 100 chance. I had it while playing ball at JUCO 3 months before you could even be like, okay, then you can start slowly start up basketball again. Again, yeah, you know, and that may be the case. Again, his season may be over. We you know, again, I'm not a doctor.
They're not going to tell us that right away, but
right. And here's the thing: they could, but I don't know for whatever reason they're not. Maybe it is for ticket prices. I don't know. What did somebody said? He wasn't on the bench for no. This is the first game Damian Lillard missed. He was on the bench for the road trip. I saw him. Well, yeah, no, he was in Phoenix. Not only I know he's in Phoenix the other night because I listened to NBA radio and I heard Eddie Johnson talking about it today after this afternoon. The 11 King says Giannis and Kuz are not meshing well yet, and it seems to be a tough. I don't know that Giannis and Kuz are not. I don't know that it's necessarily a Giannis and Kuz not meshing well yet thing. I think it's more of the team in general. And again, when he first got here, I thought the Bucks actually were playing very well post break, and then most recently it kind of got had some problems. But again, you still haven't seen this team with Bobby. Then Jericho got hurt as well. So again, there's some positive things that you can get to in my opinion. I do want to get to since we were talking about it real quick, since we're on Damian Lillard, you mentioned it, Chris, that closed door meeting that Doc Rivers, Damian Lillard, and Giannis had, and then Giannis was asked about it in an interview the other day, and Giannis, they specifically said, hey, you had a closed door meeting with Giannis, with you, Doc, and Dame, and Giannis immediately says, I don't know how that gets out. What was the quote? He said,
who tells people this?
Who tells people this?
Yeah.
And that was a very telling. And again, what you had was you had a lot of people who came, because I said Giannis is looking for the snitch. Because again, if there are 3 people in a meeting and it gets out, you're looking like who said something. If you weren't the one who said something, then that leaves only 2 people. Now, what do I think likely happened? What I think likely happened is somebody told somebody else, hey, we met, and then that person, that's how it gets down the line. I don't think I honestly don't believe that Damian Lillard or Doc Rivers went to Chris Haynes. And again, that's why a lot of people, because it was Chris Haynes. And again, that's why you know what's crazy? It probably would have felt better if like Shams had said it, or if Eric Names, or if somebody else had made the report. Because Chris Haynes made the report, that's why you had so many people, Bucks, just the like saying, "Oh, it had to be Dame because Dame and Chris Haynes are boys." When he does his Haynes briefs. But what do you? I mean, do you make anything? Do you make anything of that? And then of course people were saying it, and then Damian Lillard responded and says, y'all pointing a lot of fingers out there, or something like that. It's just the way I point fingers is crazy. Like, do y'all think that do you think anything comes of that? Or do you think this is just normal course of business?
Well, to me, it was also fitting that Dame makes his statement through Chris Haynes right after this blood clot thing goes out, which is just like, I don't know how much you're really helping your case right there, but it may not have been Dame. And I think the thing about that meeting to me was I don't know if they knew about what was to come just a week later with this blood clot thing, but to me, this meeting was needed. And I don't know obviously we don't know the context and the content of the meeting, but it's just, I don't know. I didn't really make much of it, but I think it was needed because of the way you lost that Warriors game that ended up, making that meeting happen. I mean, I don't know. Like, what's the question?
Well, no, what I'm really making the ask is, do you make anything of it being leaked and Giannis saying something about it being leaked?
I mean, yeah. I mean, of course, because that is a sign of him being frustrated that it's getting out there, and Chris Haynes has all this information around the Bucks, which, by the way, never really happened when I don't know if he was that big up in the social media world, but it never really happened before Dame got here. But I guess it's just business as usual, like the NBA. So I don't know.
I just hate the fact that it got leaked. I'm not gonna blame Dame. I'm not gonna blame Giannis. I'm not gonna blame Doc. I think it's a lot of that telephone game, like you mentioned. I think it was something wrong with it getting leaked, and I think Giannis, as a good leader, the same way that it was leaked to the media, he addressed it in the media. So whoever is the one that leaked it, he's letting you know to stop it and let's move forward and let's get ready to hoop, because we got a long playoff stretch to go with Dame coming back.
And yeah, it's gonna be a long stretch, and you know what you got to do when there's a lot of playoff ball, a lot of ball left to go. Where you got to go? Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Get out there to Curly's. We are nearing the end of the season. But again, of course, doing all televised Milwaukee Bucks game, $3 bottles and pints. Section 102. Well, again, they have trivia and bingo Wednesday bingo, Thursday night trivia. If you do well in that, what do you get?
Bucks tickets.
Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2 out there. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head on out there, have a good time. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Yeah, man. Let's keep rolling. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Y'all do some game balls tonight?
Yeah, I'd be proud to do a game ball tonight.
Okay. Proud to do a game ball. A game ball on the 127-117 victory for the Denver Nuggets. Where you going?
Yeah, to me, I'm going to give it to a guy that was being clowned on a little bit, and then he finally stepped it up, and it's going to go to AJ Green, a.k.a. Dairy Bird. No, not to be mixed up with Barely Bird, which the criticism was warranted a little bit. I thought that it was a slump. And even tonight, I thought, he missed a couple of his first shots and he just kept shooting, and it seemed like he was able to find his rhythm, and we're going to need him. There's no doubt about it. So I'm going to give it to AJ Green.
Yeah, so I'm going to give my game ball to the second best shooter on the team tonight, Splash Mountain, a.k.a. I can score on the world's best basketball player with the most amazing passes, best scoring guy on the league in all facets of the game. I thought he took it to Joker from the three-point line, a.k.a. Splash Mountain. I thought he took it to Joker in the post, a.k.a. Brooklyn Brook. And I thought he was the older statesman on his team. He did a great job leading tonight. He got the rebounds he was supposed to get. He got the blocks that he's supposed to get. He did everything he possibly could do, made the big plays, the little plays, and we're not even in this game and come back for 15 down if it's not for Mr. Brook Lopez.
Absolutely worthy game ball for Brook Lopez tonight. My game ball goes to Nikola Jokic. You know me, you got to win to get in. 39, 10, and 10 from Joker tonight, man. Excellent game. 16-25, triple-double, plus 14. Did what he had to do. Again, you know, he gave him some defense, but he did what he had to do. Joker with the game ball. Nikola Jokic, a.k.a. No defense, a.k.a. give it up to Brook Lopez, a.k.a. That was a crazy pass. He
kind of looks like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, I get that.
AKA Michelin Man. There you go.
Okay, Michelin Man, aka where are you from? Slovakia? Serbia. Okay, you go back and ride them horses out there in Serbia. Let's look around the NBA tonight. 127-117, Denver beats the Bucks. Wizards get the 76ers 119-114. A lot of talk about AJ Johnson. AJ Johnson has a big highlight. He has like two nice plays every night that make the highlights. So again, it is good. Kung Fu Kenny said Rollins for game ball, which is a good one. Tish says Doc really did earn his paycheck tonight. Clippers beat the Knicks tonight, 126-113. Lakers, LeBron James, tip-in win for the dub over the Pacers, 121-19. Raptors beat the Nets tonight. They blow out the Nets 116-86. And the Celtics with is that a 30-point win over the Suns? Let me see who played for the Suns. Booker played. Yeah, Durant. Wow, yeah, they got beat down tonight. 132-102. Phoenix not ready, man. Phoenix is not. They're not ready. They're not ready. Rick Hamilton says Doc Rivers has been praising Kuzma nonstop. I didn't hear. Was he doing that, Justin, in the post game?
I didn't hear anything tonight.
Okay. Let's do. Well, actually, I forgot. Let's go to Twitter. See what Twitter has to say. I know they're probably down as well as far as what happened, but let's see.
Take a bathroom break.
At Clay Sun Union says there's really nothing to say. They were a contending team until attrition caught up with them in 2022. They're not a well-coached, disciplined team. Even when they have all their horses, they struggle with consistency. No magic wand. They're getting bounced early. At Jack Flay with a bunch of numbers says a great effort by the Bucks. They covered the spread. At Ellis is ready says the Bucks' lack of communication on defense tonight was horrible. At Porque No Gooey says got hosed by the refs at the end. A lot of good stuff, a lot of dumb stuff. At BJM69 says the Bucks going to struggle with three pieces out, but they put up a fight trying to figure out who can pick up the scoring slack while Dame is out. Who should pick up the scoring slack while Dame is out should be the number one priority. At Drew Barringer says think I'd rather have the every other game pattern with Chris than watch Kuzma shoot 30% every night. Hope he's traded this offseason as well. Great effort from everybody else. Smart to sit Giannis in a scheduled lost game. At David Pottinger says this Bucks team is so weird. They got players. The roster isn't bad by any means. They hung with Denver without Bobby Portis, Giannis, or Dame, but they suck as a team. I can't explain it. At Jules ESQ says love that AJ Green and Gary Trent Jr. combined to shoot 23s. It should be the new identity of this team in the freak-centric era. Should have gotten a team option on Rollins. Let's do a couple more here. At GA_hoop says Kyle Kuzma was ass, trash, garbage, bum, pathetic, and more. Good fight from the rest of the Bucks, though. And then at 920 rep, last one says KPJ with another disaster class. This team has either offense or defense in the clutch and never both, regardless of who's playing. Decent game overall. And Chris King says his Wi-Fi is working. So there we go. Good stuff there all the way around. Let's so it's interesting tonight. If you look at the other things, just looking around the NBA, I'm sure you saw the shots heard around the world where Stephen A. Smith and LeBron are going at each other. LeBron goes on Pat McAfee. Of course, this is after things that happened with LeBron and Stephen A. when he confronted him at the game. He goes on Pat McAfee, basically said that he didn't have. I don't think he said too much about Stephen A. Smith, but he did address it slightly, and then he talked about Brian Windhorst and said that Wendy was weird. He gave some shots at Stephen A. Took a shot at the older generation of players as well. Said Giannis could put up 250 in the 70s. And then I don't know if you saw it, but Stephen A. Smith came back. I mean, very hard in his YouTube channel. And Stephen A. Smith on his own show said that if Giannis, he said that Giannis, not Giannis. He said that if LeBron had put hands on him, he would have swung on LeBron. Which again, that's like old, like Stephen. Let me just say this, and I know a lot of people hate Stephen A. Smith. A lot of people hate him and they don't like him. But this is like what old school journalism used to be. And again, I wasn't around for it, but I know this is like where the old school guys would really challenge, people. Nowadays, journalists are so scared of players. They're scared of ownership. They're scared of, and I'm talking about like journalists now. Not talking about people who do like what we do and just talk on YouTube and Twitter. I'm talking about actual journalists who, when they say something, they may have to go into the locker room the next day. I'm talking about those guys. Those guys are afraid. I'll call one of them out. I think his name is John Fayaz or something from Brew Hoop. He had a lot. He was talking to me the other day. Scary dude, by the way. Again, he was all mad about Adrian Griffin, but that's another story. But a lot of these guys, they're deathly afraid of saying anything. Again, a lot of you're like everything has to be the popular take, which is why you have to say, I love Christmas. It's got to be the popular take, because if it's not the popular take, if you go outside of that, oh my God, you're so afraid. So you see a lot of these media folks who they are afraid because they need that access. They need those connections. They have to have that kind of stuff to feel, like I said, to keep what little semblance they have. And because you see athletes of today moving into doing, like Draymond Green has his own podcast, LeBron starting back another podcast, Michael Parsons, you see all these guys, Paul George, everybody has their own thing, and they're what they call it, new media, and we're gonna do this new media thing because that's what they want to do. Stephen A. Smith, and again, as much as you want to hate him, the reason I like it is because Stephen A. Smith is one of those guys say who is a national guy, and he clearly gets under LeBron's skin because LeBron don't go nowhere. When is LeBron doing interviews with people? No. And he goes on Pat McAfee just to go say something about to try to stick it to Stephen A. And again, is Stephen A. about to punch LeBron? Like, hell no, you're not about to do it. But I just like this. Again, I don't know, man. I like it. I like Stephen A. He talks for a living. And yes, is he gonna pimp this and keep it rolling? Absolutely, he is. But that's his job. Like I really don't understand. If I was clutching, I would have LeBron stop talking about Stephen because he's never going to stop talking. He just won't. Like he does it for a living. He does it well. He's making Austin Reeves. He's making more money than Austin Reeves, who is a third option on a good basketball team. Yeah, no, man. It's one of those. It's just one of those things where you're not gonna get him to stop talking. So you giving him that attention that he's asking for. Now he's about to go on 4 different shows. Yeah, that's what LeBron said. He was on the Taylor Swift tour. He's never gonna stop. He's never gonna stop.
Yeah, to me, I mean, this is just classic Stephen A. egging LeBron on, and it's working. It's almost like when you don't think you can get more of Stephen A. Smith, when you think it's going downhill, when you think people are tuning in to First Take, he does something that makes you tune in. He does something that makes you maybe even go to his YouTube channel. And that's, if I was LeBron or if I was anybody involved with LeBron, I would tell him to stop because his platform is that big. He has that luxury of being behind that screen and nothing happened to him. He got checked courtside. LeBron wasn't going to do anything to him. He was going to try to make sure they could nip it in the butt right there, but you knew Stephen A was going to come back with some heat. And, yeah, I mean, this is just classic Stephen A to me.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith is my CIAA brother from Winston-Salem State University. Played for the legendary, one of the best coaches ever to touch. Now, he didn't play much, but he played for Big House Gaines. And I say all that to say he's a New York kid. He's done Philly media. So I truthfully believe, and there's a couple other guys. Tim Allen, Brewers guy, baseball post game, legendary dude. He's had some interactions back and forth with Brewers players where he said something on the air, they don't like it. But like y'all two gentlemen just said, what Stephen A signed for? How much a year?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 20, 25 million.
Yeah.
Yesterday price ain't today price. LeBron, you just got him another 10 to 20 more million on that deal going forward now. And you got to realize you're the greatest player to come out of Akron, Ohio. You're one of the greatest of all time. You are, at one point during your prime, you were the face of the league. What Jay-Z say? You can't go back and forth with fools come from a distance. You can't tell who is who. And now you got this in, you're fighting an uphill battle you'll never win. Because you know what? You win in hoop today, but tomorrow Stephen A. going to be talking about you again. And then he going to talk about you again on Friday. And then next week he going to say something. And then he going to come sit courtside again and just hope and pray that you came up to him. You got to do the Tiger Woods approach. You got to do the Michael Jordan approach, because Michael got all his rocks off once he got to the Hall of Fame. He saved a lot of that stuff, and, you know, you guys just learn how to be quiet. I think that them taking shots at Giannis, though, because of what LeBron said, I don't think Giannis will get 250. But I don't know. I just hate when we get into that. This generation couldn't do this, and that generation couldn't do this. Dr. J is a phenomenal player. Giannis is a phenomenal player. They're both top 75 at 75. I don't know where he ranks. I know Mad Dog thinks that Giannis isn't even in the same breath as him. Giannis didn't play with a Moses Malone or a Charles Barkley. Just saying.
Yeah, it's Chris. You have something?
No, I was gonna just kind of switch the topic real quick on our way out. Is like this comment right here saying who's your starting five with or without Dame. I think that's a good thing to end it on, just because of what may come in this playoffs when you add some guys back to this rotation. So if you guys want to comment on that, I'll go.
Yeah, starting five. I think, so if Dame's not in the lineup, I think, and it's crazy, it's wrong, I'll play KPJ, but KPJ can get his shot better, I think. So I think what was it tonight? It was Kevin Porter Jr.
GTJ started.
GTJ, I think he stays in the starting lineup. Doc, I think, likes Prince because I think that might be I think that might be the lineup. Because then he's able to play the three. Right, he's able to play the three, and I think his shooting is good. Is good enough to be there. So yeah, I think that might be the lineup where it's. I think what you saw today, it might be the lineup. KPJ, GTJ.
Well, you'll have Giannis. So.
Oh, so I'm tripping. Oh, well, no, okay, my bad. I lied. Okay, I'm tripping. I'm tripping my Giannis. You're right. So I think it's KPJ, Gary Trent, Kuz, Giannis, Brooke. Like that's what I think. That's what I think it would be. And I think TP moves to the. There's just no. I just don't think you can keep starting. Torian Prince at 2 does not. It doesn't move me. And again, I think Gary Trent Jr. plays a good enough defense to where I would rather him be in the starting line. But I think he get to his shot a little bit better. So I think that would be your lineup to me. I know some people say, I saw some people say, you should bench Kuzma. Again, I just think that it from a defensive standpoint, again, you say whatever you want about his offense, and I'm not even going to deny it. Like, yeah, there's some. This is what I'll say about Kuzma's offense. Again, you have to get him into playing. Yeah, I forgot Giannis too. You have to get Kuzma in good situations because you're right. He's not Like, I don't like this. We're going to have Kuzma initiate the offense, bring the ball up. That's not good basketball. When you got to the second half, for whatever reason, I think that the Denver Nuggets were like, oh, Kuzma is playing so poorly, we can get caught in situations where Jamal Murray got on him. And the first thing you do is, boom, you dump it down low. Kuzma, easy, right down layup. Then it was like saw one layup go in, got it again, right past Joker. Like, you can get in these, what happens with Kuzma is because they don't respect his shooting and they don't respect him, they will try to hide their defensive players on Kuzma. And Kuzma, for what it's worth, it's awkward, it's weird. So one of the reasons Kuzma is again, offense is rough. I don't think he's as bad as what it looks. I think what happens is his turnovers and some of the shots look so bad that you go, oh, he must be worse than he actually is. I'll give you another example. Again, I'm not even trying to do this. It's just the only thing I can think of. Chris Middleton turned the ball over at will. Chris Middleton was actually he actually wasn't a terrible guy with turnovers. His numbers, like assist turnover ratio, was not bad at all. Mm-hmm. But because he would just be dribbling and every now and then somebody pressuring him, they look so bad. It almost felt like, damn, when he gets the ball, he's turning it over all the time. He really didn't, but it looked like it. And so if Kuzma just took a normal dribble, step back, and just missed a normal shot, you'd say, he missed the like Kevin Porter Jr. missed a ton of shots. I think he didn't play well, but people didn't go, oh my God, he was the worst player on the court. But like, because Kuzma's misses are the one in Phoenix where I thought I got fouled and throw it off the backboard. Then it's like, oh, this dude is complete ass. Yeah. And it's like, dog, just play like Kuzma, play normal. He needs to take like deep breaths, play normal, because again, his second half tonight, again, it wasn't like he lit the world up, but that's playable basketball. Like his second half offensive, just go to his second half and watch what he did offensively. It's fine. That was fine. He got to the free throw line. He had a couple layups going. He was fine. His first half, out of control, and just Kuzma's a very inconsistent player. He plays in flurries. He has like 5 stretches. He has full first halves, bad. Second half, he can play okay. But you have to put him in you got to put him in good spots. And again, his defense to me is, outside of Giannis, I think he's the best defender in the starting lineup. So I think you have to play like to me, it made sense what the Bucks were doing. Like, I still see the vision. It doesn't work without a full complement of a team, but I see what they were doing. And defensively, I think he does a fine job. Like, honestly, again, he had a couple blocks, came in late, got a block, thought he stays in front of guys. Now again, can he get caught up in and I think it's just because he's newer to the team, some switches that don't work. Yeah, but I don't know who's at fault. Could it be Kuz? Could it be TP? Who else I saw the game winner, not the one against Phoenix, but the game winner against Indiana. That one was a switch that was incorrect between Kuzma and TP was wrong. So I don't know who was wrong. The communication seems to still be a problem with these guys, maybe because they're not all used to being on the floor together. But and again, I just don't know who to blame for that. But I think you keep Kuzma starting lineup just because his defense is very good, and he's a switchable player.
Yeah, and to me, like, I would not hate TP taking that kind of backseat role, knowing what Gary Trent Jr. can provide with in the case that Damian Lillard is not going to be in the playoffs. I think where the real discussion may come, and this is because obviously KPJ has the experience, but when he's having a bad game, man, he's too emotional, man. Like, there's times where he's making bad plays and he lets that kind of carry over. And so in these last 10 games, I'm really – and we've seen it lately – I'm really looking for who you're going to run out there as your starting point guard. I think Ryan Rollins has rose to the occasion on certain opportunities, but I've also thought that KPJ has just hands down become, maybe the backup point guard. So these next 10 games are going to be the kind of, it's gonna dictate whether I think KPJ or Rollins should get that starting spot at the 1. But I will say, with Kuz and Giannis and Brook as your 3, 4, 5, like I think that gives you a shot against some of the better offensive teams. And so I think that there's something to certainly look forward to there defensively. But yeah, I think Gary Trent Jr. has done enough. I think there's been multiple times, again, where I'm just trusting him a lot more. And I think he's earned the right to become that 2, and TP maybe take that backseat role. And then there's also, when you talk about the rotations past the starting 5, they're going to have many different looks that they can give teams, right? Like if you have TP out there, you're going to probably be perimeter centric. You're probably going to be drive and kick, Giannis, do your thing, kick, get it out there. If Kuz is there, now you have 2 guys that can maybe get to the rim, and then you got KPJ, Rollins, and Gary Trent Jr. on the perimeter. So I think they've got some options here, and then especially you bring Bobby back. You got some options with this basketball team.
So tonight, what frustrated me, I thought Taurean Prince had a pretty good ball game coming off the bench, probably his best one of the year coming off the bench. I know he only had a handful, but what frustrated me was I thought he made a lot of good in the paint and good takes off the dribble, and he just didn't finish the layup. Or he missed the floater or whatever the case may be. I'm excited to see him kind of get to the basket a little bit more than just being a catch and shoot statue. But I would go Rollins at the 1. Reason why I would go Rollins at the run, because he seems a little bit more even killed, like Chris was mentioning with KPJ, right? And if he misses his first shot, Rollins still going to play good defense. He's still going to find a way to get others involved. And I like what Chris said as far as when KPJ makes his first shot, he plays better. So I think if you put him in that second unit, he has a better shot of playing against their backup and getting a layup or a bucket to get going. I like Gary Trent Jr. at that too right now, just because I think he's more dynamic than Taurean Prince is on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Kuz at your 3, Giannis at your 4, Brook at your 5. But I might finish the game with Giannis at the 5 and put Taurean Prince at the 3 and move everybody 4 or 5 that way, or maybe even with Sims when he comes back, or maybe even with Bobby. Just kind of depends on who's going well. And maybe instead of Rollins finishing the game, it might be KPJ if he's cooking, but we just got to make sure that we keep that confidence to get him a little bit more even-keeled. And I think that will come like I think it was Ed in the chat that mentioned that Kuz will do better with the offseason. I think same thing with KPJ. He's going to find a way to play better basketball with a full year to work with this Milwaukee Bucks team.
Yeah, that's got to be the hope. Is that that's going to happen? But again, we're going to need these guys now because this season ain't over. So you have to finish this off and do this. Ed Duker says Bouye should get a look. Again, he needs to look at his head. He need to look at G's Clippers. That's where he need to go. G's Clippers, man. Somebody find that man a barber. Good stuff tonight, fellas. Man, it is a little over 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Got some good things coming up in store. Looking forward to it. When's the Bucks next game? They play Friday? Yep. When they play? Saturday? What's today?
No, Friday. Friday against the Knicks.
Friday night against the Knicks. I believe Giannis will be back. Saw somebody say in the chat Giannis is not a leader because he doesn't sit on the bench during games. He's not there. I don't believe that. I don't understand that comment at all.
He's there every game.
Was he there tonight? I didn't even see him.
He wasn't there tonight, but like Chris mentioned with the altitude, he probably went home to get treatment so he could be ready to play Friday. Sorry, I mean cut you off.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm with you there too. So yeah, I agree. It doesn't have to be on the bench every single night you don't play. Bobby comes back in I believe 6 games. Mm-hmm. Is that right? 6 more games for Bobby. Is Jalen Brunson still going to be out against the Knicks? He's still out, correct? Oh, yeah. So I mean, it's a big one on Friday night because you look at the standings. The Bucks are now 6. You're a half game behind Detroit. You are slowly falling out of the 4th place. You're almost now. Can you get to 5th? Can you? And again, you should have. If Giannis is going to be healthy, I think you can. Pistons have Cleveland coming up. As we look at the next 3, Bucks have New York on Friday.
Phoenix.
When they got Phoenix again? Tuesday, you have Phoenix on TNT. which again, I think that I believe that they should be able to get a win. They really should be able to get a win. I thought they should have. Yeah, I didn't get into that game the other night, but they should have got a win. And then you got the 76ers on Thursday. So then you have the Heat on Friday. So again, even with just Giannis, like this has got to be you got to beat New York, you got to beat Phoenix, you got to beat Philly, you got to beat the Heat. Like this should be 4 in a row? Can you show me you can be a serious basketball team and win 4 in a row here? That's what I'm looking for. So we'll see how this one goes. Want to appreciate everybody for joining the show tonight. Appreciate you for being here. Want to thank everybody for listening, whether listening on YouTube, whether on Twitter. Fun stuff. Want to thank you guys for being here, of course. Want to thank our sponsor, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Head out there, enjoy yourself. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar, proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, subscribe. Appreciate it. It helps us out a tremendous bit if you hit that button and subscribe to the show, to the channel. We always appreciate it. Tell a friend and tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover, of course. I think is that it? I'm missing anything?
No, I just real quick. I appreciate everybody sticking it out with us. Today it's a lot of times we get this. The first flood of comments is all about what transpired at the deadline. I'm not even going to say the names anymore. And then we just move on and we stick it out again. Ed, appreciate you. Said we hung in there, as well as the viewers, man. Even the people that disagree on the certain trade deadline topic. We just stick it out, man, and we do our thing. So we appreciate everybody who goes beyond just the one topic that there is discourse about.
So my last thing is, go Dayton Flyers softball, right?
Big dub today. Big dub.
Got our Milwaukee Brewers opening up in New York City on ESPN. So hopefully Curly's will have some of them $3 joints for them Brewers fans. And then my last shout out to my little brother, Mark Church. Opening day roster for the Texas Rangers. Future closer. Let's go. Beat the hell out of Boston.
Here we go. Absolutely sounds good. We love it. Again, man, fun show tonight. We'll be back at it on Friday against the that's how my memory's going. Who playing? The Knicks. Knicks on Friday night. So Knicks on Friday. We'll have some fun. Again, stay with us. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep the faith. Let's keep the optimism. Whether Dame returns, whether it doesn't return, and let's do this thing and finish the season out the right way. 11 more games after tonight, right? 11 more. Let's go. You're half a game out of fifth. A couple games out of fourth. Let's see what happens. Roll the dice out there. Go play. Roll the ball out. Check ball. Let's go play. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trick Third.
Chris King.
Justin.
Hey, if I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood. Nichols. Courage.